are we supposed to pick a culprit? If we're all out of clues.
Then we can re-examine old clues one more time.
Do we have time for that?
Annihilated. Annihilated! At this rate, we'll all be annihilated!
If we're all out of clues.
You got that wrong! Actually, there is still one clue left. Maizono's dying message.
Dining... what now?
A dying message. It was on the wall behind her back. She wrote the numbers 11037 in blood. This must be a hint related to the culprit.
Before we move forward, I'd just like to be sure. Did Maizono actually write the message in the first place?
There's no doubt Maizono wrote that message. The evidence for that is... I see! The reason Maizono's left pointer finger had blood on it has to be because she used that finger to write her dying message.
Her right wrist would have been broken from the previous struggle, so she used her left hand.
Okay, so we know it was Maizono who wrote it. But what does that mean?
Wouldn't that one chick be able to help if it was about numbers? The programmer or whatever?
I have no idea. No matter what I try, I can't find any meaning in that string of numbers.
Of course not. That's because they're not numbers.
Oh ho! It seems...
Huh? What is it?
Ah, if you consider that these might not be numbers, doesn't the 11 actually look like a letter?
He's right. The line in the middle is really thin, so it looks like the number 11. But it could also be N.
Whoa! You said something useful for once.
My little gray cells are in fine working order.
Though, even if we assume the first letter is N, N037 still has no apparent meaning.
Crap! I have no idea!
Rotate it clockwise, 180 degrees.
Huh? Rotate it? I get it. Is it possible? She wrote... That's right! Maizono wrote... the culprit's name.
What? She skipped the clues and went straight for the culprit's name? Who? Whose name is it?
The key to this mystery is in the clockwise rotation. If you rotate the dying message clockwise by 180 degrees, you can see the letters L-E-O-N. Leon. That's Kawada's name!
What? What are you talking about? It's just a coincidence! It's just a coincidence it looks like that! An accidental byproduct!
No, it's not just coincidence. Maizono wrote the message behind her back, while slumped against the wall. Quite likely, she moved only her hand behind her back, writing the message in that position. Because she wrote the message in that position, when you look at it head-on, it appears rotated 180 degrees. You can try it yourself. Write a message in that position, and the letters will be inverted.
You're just grasping at straws here, man! I'm the culprit? Spit out the first thing that comes to mind, why don't you?
If you're not the culprit, Then why did you attempt to dispose of evidence?
Huh?
Naegi, you know too, don't you? The evidence Kawata tried to destroy.
The evidence Kawata tried to destroy. It's that, isn't it? I see! You're talking about the burnt dress shirt on the floor in front of the incinerator, right?
Most likely, when the culprit stabbed Mizono, the blood spatter stained his shirt. To dispose of the bloodied shirt, he threw it into the incinerator.
And accidentally left behind that burnt fragment.
I'm certain the culprit didn't notice either. If he had, he would be much more frantic. Isn't that right, Kawata?
What?
But can we deem Leon Kawata the culprit by that shirt alone?
Aside from Kawata, quite a few people here wear dress shirts with white cuffs.
Yeah! I'm not the only one who wears a dress shirt! There's no way you could tell whose shirt that was just from the burnt cuff!
No. Even if we can't infer it from the item itself, there are other details we can use.
It seems you finally discovered the answers to all the mysteries.
Yeah, for the most part. In order to determine who the culprit is, we need to focus on if we focus on how the shirt was disposed of, we should be able to determine the culprit.
Oh yeah, I see. I've got it all figured out. You can't get near the incinerators if you can't unlock the trash room's shutters. So there's no way you could switch the incinerator on. And the one who has the key to the trash room is the janitor. Which means the janitor's the killer.
Yeah!
No, that's not true. There's a way for someone other than the janitor to switch the incinerator on. And it's that method that points to Kawata being the culprit.
The key to the trash room is held by the janitor.
In other words, the only person who could get near the incinerator was the janitor?
You can't destroy evidence if you can't get near the incinerator. Which means the janitor's the killer.
As I recall, the janitor was... Huh? Me? No!
You can't destroy evidence if you can't get near the...
You got that wrong! Hold on! It was still possible to dispose of evidence even if you weren't the janitor.
But without opening the shutters, one is unable to light the incinerator's flame, are they not?
No, it's still possible if you use this.
It's busted, but it looks like a glass ball.
Well, it was supposed to be a crystal ball.
By using this, how would you use it?
The culprit did something with this glass ball. The culprit threw this glass ball through the space in the shutters at the incinerator switch. Doing so, he was able to switch on the incinerator's fire.
He threw it through the shutters?
You said so yourself, Yamada.
What is this? The incinerator's flame has been left alight! How strange! Last time I was here, I made quite certain the flame had been extinguished. Is this a fairy's doing?
The incinerator was turned on without Yamada, who had the key, knowing. That's because the culprit pressed the incinerator switch without opening the shutters. Having lit the incinerator's flame, he balled up the dress shirt and threw it in.
Hey! What you saying, man?
The conditions of the room after the disposal tells us the culprit didn't open the shutters. The broken glass bowl, the incinerator being left on, the burnt fragment of cloth. If the janitor were the killer, he would have been more careful when he got rid of the evidence.
Hey! I said wait!
But the incinerator is more than 10 meters away from the shutters, isn't it? Is it really possible to throw a glass ball from that distance and hit the switch with pinpoint accuracy?
Yeah! That obviously ain't possible!
It may be difficult, but it's not impossible. No, it actually wouldn't have been all that difficult for the killer, the super duper high school. I see! Because the killer is the super duper high school all-star. Isn't that right, Kawada?
You're talking crazy!
Indeed. For one dubbed the Super Duper High School All-Star, a 10-meter target is nothing.
Fuck you! I'm not the culprit! Besides, the logic's completely whack, you shit-brain chuckle fucks!
You still won't admit it? In that case, Naegi, go back over the incident one more time and explain every little bit of his crime. And with that, let's put an end to this.
I'm telling you, this ain't over yet!
You can say whatever you want, Kawada, but we've solved all the mysteries. And now I'll show you what really happened. This is the truth! Alright, let's go back to where it all started. Last night, the culprit went to the room where Maizono was. In other words, to my room. More than likely, Maizono invited that person to my room in order to kill them. Using the knife she took from the kitchen beforehand, she attacked that person. But something happened that she didn't see coming. That person struck back at her with the practice sword in my room. A strike from the practice sword broke Maizono's right wrist, ending the battle. And then, the knife was stolen from her. Cornered, Maizono panicked and fled into the shower. The culprit went right after her, but for some reason the shower door wouldn't open. The door to my shower is misaligned, and, not knowing the trick, he was unable to open it. Maizono knew because I told her, but of course the culprit didn't know. Even so, the culprit somehow forced the door open, and then, with the stolen knife, he stabbed Maizono. However, with her last remaining strength, Maizono left behind a dying message. On the wall behind her back, so the culprit wouldn't notice. But in doing so, she expended all her strength. After murdering Maizono, the culprit hurriedly began destroying the evidence. First, he removed his blood-stained shirt. Then, using my room's lint roller, he cleaned the room from top to bottom to remove any trace of his having visited that room. After that, the culprit headed for the trash room to dispose of his dress shirt. He intended to burn his bloodied shirt in the incinerator there. However, shutters sealed the trash room, and he was unable to approach the incinerator. So the culprit used the glass ball Hagakure left in the laundry room. The culprit pushed the incinerator switch by throwing the glass ball through the shutters. For a normal person, that's practically impossible, but the culprit was confident he could do it. After all, the culprit is the super duper high school all-star. He threw the glass ball with precision and control, hitting the switch and activating the incinerator. The culprit, having destroyed the evidence, was relieved and quickly left the trash room. But the culprit wasn't counting on. Part of his shirt falling out of the incinerator. And so, the culprit remained blissfully unaware that he'd left behind conclusive evidence. Isn't that right, Leon Kawada? Apparently, Hagakure forgot that glass ball in the laundry room. When you went to the laundry room to wash the blood off your shirt, Kawada, you found it there. And when you did, you came up with this plan.
What do you say, Kawata? Do you have any objections?
Do I have any objections? Yeah, I do! Of course I frickin' do! Anyway, all that's just a theory. You ain't got a bit of evidence, do ya? If there ain't no evidence, it's all bullshit. That ain't gonna fly with me.
Then why don't you show him, Naegi? The evidence that he's the culprit. You have that evidence.
I have that evidence?
When the culprit went to break the shower's doorknob, the tool he used was not from that room. In which case, what did the culprit use?
The thing the culprit used to break the shower's doorknob? That was...
Not a frickin' chance that's gonna fly with me! You dumbass! 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 Dumbass!
I need to present definitive proof to Kawada that he's the culprit.
Where's your proof? Quit fucking around! No frickin' way! Wasn't me! Dumbass! Quit yapping! Shove it! Where's your proof? Quit fucking around! No frickin' way! Quit yapping! Where's your proof? Quit fucking around! No frickin' way! Wasn't me! Dumbass! Quit yapping! Shove it! Where's your proof? Quit fucking around! Wasn't me! Quit yapping! Shove it! If there ain't no evidence, it's all bullshit. Ain't gonna fly!
It's over, Leon! At the crime scene, the shower's doorknob had had its screws removed. But when he removed those screws, what tool did he use?
For removing screws, you'd use a screwdriver.
In that case, there was one in the tool set we were given. Wasn't there, dude?
So he used that. Not like there are any other tools here.
However, there were no signs the tool set in my room had been used.
The culprit thought the crime scene was Mizuno's room and not Naegi's room.
Because only the guys were given tool sets. He didn't think there would be one in that room.
In which case, whose tool set did the culprit use?
Dumbass! Dumbass! Dumbass!
The culprit had to have used his own tool set.
Dumbass! 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 Dumbass!
Kawada, would you please show us your tool set? If my proposition is correct, then there should be evidence of the screwdriver having been used.
Dumbass! Dumbass!
If you say you used it for something else, then explain to us where and for what.
I'll warn you in advance. Trying to say you lost it won't work either.
Dumb ass dingus.
It seems he has no objections.
And this, I do believe, is the end.
Beep, 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 beep. It appears you've reached a conclusion. Alright then, let's begin ballot time. Okay guys, please cast your ballot using the switch in front of you. And just for the record, make absolutely sure you vote for someone. You don't want to be punished for something so silly. Alrighty, let's end this with a bang. What'll your verdict be? Who's tonight's villain? Will it be right or will it be oh so wrong? Which could it be? That's absolutely correct. The villain who killed Sayaka Mizono was Leon Kawada.
What? Hold on a sec.
Kawada, you really murdered Mizono?
How could you?
You son of a bitch! What the fuck did you do that for?
I had no choice. I was gonna get killed myself. So I had to kill her. One wrong move and this could have happened to any of you guys. Mizono just happened to target me. Just my frickin' luck. Or should I have just sat back and let her kill me?
The truth is out. Our answer was correct. But where does that leave us? Rather, I would probably feel a lot better had we been wrong. Because if those inferences are the truth, then it's also the truth that Mizono tried to frame me. And yet, even so, despite it all, Mizono's not at fault. The catalyst for all this, it's because of that video. Even I was taken aback by what I saw. I can't imagine how it affected the victim, Mizono.
I'm trapped in this place, and I can't get out. But my friends, they're waiting. I'm sure they're waiting. I don't have time for this!
Her dream and her friends, which she valued above everything. After seeing her friends like that, Mizono, she...
I did whatever I needed to fulfill my dream. Including some bad things. I honestly did whatever it took.
That's why, for the sake of her precious friends, Mizono betrayed me. In that case, what Mizono said then...
No matter what happens, Naegi, always stay by my side.
From the start, Mizono only got close to me so she could deceive me? So she could use me? I don't know anymore. I have no way to ask her feelings. Not anymore. Once you're gone, it's all over.
So how about that showbiz? Scary stuff, huh? Killing someone over interpersonal relationships? Yikes. She looked so pretty and so nice. But beneath all that, she was mad like a hatter.
What did you say?
I get it. Yeah. You're drowning in despair at having been betrayed by Mizono, aren't you? Attraction, affection, compassion. The bigger the shun, the more despair left in its wake.
Cut the crap! It's all your fault! What Mizono did. Everything! It's all your fault! Having completely lost myself, I lunged at Monokuma. But...
Stop this.
Kirigiri grabbed my arm and held it tight. Tight enough to leave a mark.
You should stop now. That is, if you actually want to avenge her.
Damn it!
You had me going there. I thought I was gonna get pounded, but I made it out alive. What up? So, the tribe has spoken. You guys found the villain in splendid fashion. So, it's time for this round's villain, Leon Kawada, to receive his punishment.
Punishment? You mean execution? Wait a second, please! I had no choice but to kill her. Yeah, it was a genuine case of self-defense. I was just defending myself, and I just...
What part of your actions could be called legitimate self-defense? When you broke the shower door's lock, you used your own toolset, right? In other words, after she closed herself in the shower, you went all the way back to your room and brought back a screwdriver, broke the lock, then finished her off. You had any number of opportunities to end it right then and there. But you didn't take them. You quite obviously intended to kill her.
No! That was...
Just stop. Just end this facade.
Oh dear, are you sure about that? You were the closest to Mizono out of all of us. And your dear Mizono was killed by this man.
I don't intend to place all the blame on Kawada. Of course, I don't blame Mizono either. Because... it's all his fault!
Uh-huh.
If it wasn't for you, neither Mizono nor Kawada would have ended up like this! Rather than fighting each other. We should be fighting the one who organized all this!
Oh, goodness gracious. Have you awoken to your sense of justice? Do you know there's nothing in the world as amoral as a sense of justice? It's because we've got all these people flaunting about their justice that a war will never end. And you've awoken to that sense of justice?
Shut up!
Oh, whatevs. More importantly, let's get this punishment started. Everyone's waiting.
I'm begging you! Please stop this!
No excuses. You disrupt the order, you suffer the consequences. Those are society's rules.
Please! Don't!
I've prepared a very special punishment for Leon Kulata, the super duper high school all-star.
No.
Let's get this ball rolling. It's punishment time.
The scene we bore witness to was despair. If you couldn't call it that, what on earth could you call it?
Yahoo! That was extreme! I'm drowning in the adrenaline!
What is this?
I can't take it anymore. Do we really have to continue this? I can't do it!
If you're not a fan of this, then completely disconnect yourselves from the outside world and accept your new lives here. That is, if you guys can actually do it. Beep, beep, beep. No!
You bastard! What's your objective in all this?
What's my objective? Talk about a guy like he's an evil secret society. Or, in this case, wouldn't it be talk about a bear like he's an evil secret society?
Why must such an upstanding citizen as myself be subjected to this?
Because how else would you turn something common sense is impossible into common sense? That's like using a scale to measure length. It's not like you couldn't do it, but...
Whoa! I feel like we're not on the same page.
God damn it! I don't know who the hell you are, but I'll have your fucking head on a pike!
You're so mad. Do you hate me? If you want to hate on someone, you've got the wrong bear, bro. I mean, this murder only happened because you guys want out, didn't it? It's all you guys' fault because you can't let go of your attachment to the outside world.
Of course we can't. Just suddenly up and being trapped in this screwed up place.
Trapped, huh? But when you guys uncover all the Academy's mysteries, you'll most definitely be thinking, I'm so happy I get to live my whole life here.
What do you mean by that?
There's a lot of meaning buried in your words. Like what you said earlier.
Let's get this punishment started. Everyone's waiting.
Just who is this everyone you speak of?
Well, I've said everything I can. It's not as much fun if you don't save some for later.
And then Monokuma vanished, leaving us alone in our overwhelming, nightmarish reality. Even after Monokuma dismissed us, we stayed in that place, unable to move for some time. No, for some time is probably a huge understatement. I'm positive we were all afraid of being alone. No one uttered a word. Everyone stood in silence, wearing long, contemplative faces. But then...
Naegi, do you have a moment?
She walked up beside me and whispered into my ear.
Before we go back, there's something I'd like to tell you.
About my Zono?
Yes, that's correct. Do you remember what I said to you before the class trial? I said, you must uncover the truth behind this incident yourself, Naegi.
You were trying to make me realize my Zono's betrayal myself? Me, completely unaware I was being deceived, stupidly trusting her while being made a suspect.
Yes, my Zono tried to throw you to the wolves. That is an unshakable fact. But she was conflicted all the way to the end. Because of that, she was thinking of you in her last moments.
In her last moments? She was thinking of me? Don't say something so baseless. Something nobody can know. There's no longer any way to ask her.
Even without asking her, you can still use your logic. My Zono's final thoughts were of how she could save you.
Huh?
The evidence for that is in the dying message. She left it with her last remaining strength. She wouldn't have left that message if she didn't care what happened to you.
That was probably just her way of getting back at Kawada for killing her.
Yes, that is a possibility. However, that's not what I think. She was conflicted. Conflicted about deceiving you, and about killing someone. That's why her plan failed. Her conflict invited failure. Ironic, isn't it?
Why are you telling me this?
Because you are a person who can overcome. Because you can overcome the deaths of your friends, Mizono and Kawata, and move forward. If that's not what you are, you'll never be able to conquer these extraordinary circumstances.
Overcome the deaths of my friends? I can't. I can't do that. I will carry that with me for the rest of my life. I won't overcome. And carrying their memories, I will press forward.
You've chosen a much, much more difficult road, but I expect you can handle it.
She let out a small laugh as she spoke.
Hey, Naegi, while we're here, I'd just like to know, how did you know I wanted to talk to you about my Zono?
That. Because I'm an Esper.
What?
I'm kidding. It was just a feeling.